A World Cup final is not like any other game of football. One match, no second leg, decades of expectation, and a team that has spent a month building toward exactly 90, sometimes 120 minutes. And in every final ever played, the winner got there one of 7 ways. Not 7 teams. 7 tactical blueprints for how you actually win the biggest match on earth. Here are all of them, ranked, and by Sunday, one of them will have won it again. The first way to win a final is the simplest to describe and the hardest to live with. You never let the other team have the ball. This is the Possession Stranglehold. Positional play, patient circulation, every pass lowering the temperature until the game belongs to you and only you. The logic is cold. In one match, with no second leg, the enemy is variance. One deflection, one break, one mistake. So you remove it. No ball for them means no lottery for you. The cost is nerve. A stranglehold can take 115 minutes and one moment of genius, and the crowd will call it boring right up until the second it isn't. And it has a failure mode, a disciplined low block, one clean counter, and the side that controlled everything controls nothing. Spain in 2010 are the template. Champions who simply never gave the game back, Iniesta settling it in extra time. And in this tournament, Spain carry the same idea, the highest volume passing team here, waiting for the one opening. Verdict, 8 out of 10. The lowest variance way there is to win a final, and the one that most often still needs a moment of genius to finish what all that control starts. The second blueprint doesn't wait for the ball, it hunts it. This is the total football press and transition final. Every player presses, every player attacks. The instant you lose it, you swarm to win it straight back. The instant you win it, you're already pouring forward into the space the other team left when they thought they were safe. It is the most influential idea in the history of the sport, and the most demanding. It needs 11 players drilled to move as one organism, and a tank that empties by the 70th minute. And here's the honest part. The purest version of this idea, the one that rewrote football, reached the final and lost it. The Netherlands, in 1974, pressed and rotated every position on the pitch, and were beaten by a West Germany side that soaked it up and struck once. The idea changed the game forever without lifting the trophy that day. And its heirs, the pressing champions, who welded transition onto control, are the proof it eventually pays. Verdict, 7 out of 10. The highest ceiling of any blueprint here, and the most influential idea the game has ever produced. Yet in finals, its purest form keeps losing to a colder, simpler plan. The third way is to hand the favorite the ball on purpose. The counterpunch final. You sit in a compact shape, you let them commit bodies forward, and you win the game in the 15 seconds after a turnover, when the space behind them is at its widest and their runners can't get back. It is the most used blueprint of the less fancied finalist and again, of the eventual winner. It asks for 2 things: pace at the top and a shape that never breaks no matter how long the siege lasts. And it is feast or famine. You might get 2 clean transitions in the whole match, and those 2 might be the entire final. France in 2018 are the modern proof. 4-2 over Croatia with a minority of the ball, lethal on the break. Italy in 1982 are the older template. Absorb everything, then strike. Ceding the ball isn't surrender. It's choosing the one phase of the game you know you're best at. Verdict, 8 out of 10. The highest ceiling route an underdog has and the most proven final winning shape of the modern era. The fourth blueprint wins the one phase of a final where talent stops mattering, the dead ball. In a tight, nervous final, open play tightens up. Legs tire, nerves bite, the margins vanish. But a rehearsed corner doesn't feel nerves. A choreographed free kick doesn't care about pedigree. It's a coached, repeatable edge, and in a one-off match, it's worth more than anywhere else. Roughly 40% of all goals come from set pieces, and in a final, that share climbs, because everything else is so cagey. The work is double. You have to win yours and survive theirs. France in 1998 are the perfect case. Zidane, twice, both headers from corners, over a Brazil side that were supposed to have the better players. The set piece as the great equalizer at the very top of the game. It's rarely enough on its own. But as the supplement that decides a level final, nothing is more underrated or more coachable. Verdict, 7 out of 10. The most coachable edge in the game and the most underrated with it. Rarely enough on its own, but so often the thing that tips a level final. The fifth way is to stop pretending football is only a team game and outsource the biggest match on earth to the best player in it, the Talisman final. You build the entire side to feed one genius, and you trust him to produce the single moment 11 organized defenders simply cannot legislate for. More finals turn on one player than any tactician wants to admit. The maths is brutal and simple. In a one-off, you only need that moment once. The trade-off is just as simple. Mark him out of the game, and your whole plan can leave with him. So the Talisman rarely travels alone. He's the punch, and a block or a stranglehold is the reason there's still a game left to punch in. Maradona in 1986 is the purest example. Argentina built entirely around him, a tournament that was his from the first minute to the last. Mbappé in 2022 is the other face of it, a hat-trick in a final his team lost, one man almost dragging the trophy home alone. Verdict, 7 out of 10. Real, and it recurs in final after final. But the most fragile blueprint of all, because it hands the other side one solvable problem to plan around. One quick thing before the last two blueprints. There's a card on screen now for your next watch in this series. Tap it when we're done here. The sixth blueprint never appears on a formation sheet because it isn't a formation, it's a way of running a clock. The Game-Management Masterclass. You win the final by controlling its tempo instead of its possession. You kill the rhythm, you manage every restart, you use your bench with intent, and you defend the one decisive moment for as long as the game demands. In the last half hour of a final, tired legs, tight nerves, one mistake deciding everything, tempo control beats raw talent. The tools are unglamorous. Substitutions, smart fouls, slow restarts, a shape that never loses its discipline. And there's a hidden requirement, depth. You can only manage a game to the finish if the 11 you bring off the bench can hold what the first 11 built. Germany in 2014 are the model, patient, relentless, a squad built to outlast, winning it in extra time through Goetze. It is quietly decisive, and almost never the highlight reel. Verdict, 7 out of 10. The blueprint that rewards squad depth and composure more than any other. Quietly decisive, and the least glamorous way there is to lift a trophy. The seventh and final blueprint is really an admission. Some finals are not won in 90 minutes, and the great teams plan for that from the start. The War of Attrition. You build to survive the long night, extra time, and then the coin flip at the end of it, the penalty shootout. Once a final goes the distance, pedigree matters less than three things: nerve, fitness to the 120th minute, and a goalkeeper you trust with your life. The biggest finals go long, so often precisely because both teams have everything to lose, so both refuse to. You prepare for it the way you'd prepare for anything terrifying. You rehearse it. Rehearsed penalties, legs that last, a keeper who studied every taker. Argentina in 2022 is the definitive modern version. 3-3 after extra time, and then 1 from 12 yards. Past 120 minutes, it's the closest football ever comes to a coin flip. And champions are simply the teams that rehearse the flip. Verdict: 6 out of 10. The great equalizer: once a final goes the distance, pure variance, and you only earn the coin flip by refusing to lose in the 90 before it. 7 blueprints: the Possession Stranglehold, the total football press and transition final, the counterpunch, the set-piece decider, the Talisman, the Game-Management Masterclass, and the War of Attrition. Every World Cup final ever played was won by one of them. And on Sunday, one of them wins it again. So tell me in the comments, which blueprint wins Sunday's final? And which is the greatest final winning tactic of all time? There's a card for where to go next. And the whole football curriculum is in one playlist. See you on the other side of the final.